No,
We're very
that
lucky
acid,
right now. Go ahead.
You know that they don't have that. I don't know. I'm not like I drink a lot of wine, but I'm not a wine connoisseur or snobby type person. I just drink the wine, and I evaluate wine by, that tastes like instant heartburn to me.
Sure, sure.
You know, and we didn't get that with any of these wines. They just.
Well, that's fantastic to hear, and I'll tell you what, the winemakers will love to hear that. Basically, the whole wine snobbery thing. When it comes down to the best wine in the world is the wine you like. I mean,
right.
Realistically, what are you going to choose tonight? What are we going to have tonight? And that's one of the nicest things about my job is, usually if I can turn somebody on to a beautiful wine from Italy or from Spain or whatnot, they'll reciprocate by saying, "Hey, have you tried this one?" And you just have that wonderful opportunity to try new wines, and sure enough, you'll find your favorite wine, and that is the best wine.
Well, what is it with the acidic thing though?
Well, there's tannins, that are involved, that are something that that wines produce. A lot of times that'll be rounded off by the time that it spends in the bottle, or oak aging. There's different things that can happen that a winemaker will make that decision in producing his wine. A lot of times, some folks look for that. Some folks are looking. Tonight they're going to have some sort of meal that they want. They want something that's really going to grip the tongue and wake it up, and let's really enjoy a meal. But each winemaker is looking for something that they want to express, and that is the fortunate thing that we have in the folks that we work with here. Every situation, obviously, in selecting wineries that we work with, it's very important. Obviously, you have quality and you have quantity if you're going to be marketing to the United States, and marketability and labels and all those good things. But realistically, what really is a key factor for us here is the winemaker. If you put really good fruit in the hands of a really good winemaker, at the end of the day, you're going to produce something that people really enjoy.
All right. I wanted to ask you about rosé because it seems like that's also coming back this year. Do you do that at all? Are you going to be importing that, or do you already?
We do, and there's that Tarantas brand has a beautiful rosé. It's made from a grape that can only be found in the southeast of Spain called Bobal, and that's a wine that can be found pretty much throughout the nation with the chain Whole Foods. They do a really good job with the Tarantas brand, and it's a wonderful, beautiful, beautiful rosé. And the Bobal grape it's a grape that has one of the highest levels of antioxidants, which means that there's that. Then again, that extra added benefit.
Yummy. I think that people didn't realize. I think there's been in the States, from what we've talked to with other winemakers, and especially from Italy, talking about, America hasn't really quite gripped onto the rosés yet, but they're starting to learn that it's not your typical boxed wine.
Right.
Exactly.
I noticed that when I went to the wine region of Southern Oregon. There's a lot more rosé coming out of there now.
That's where I'm originally from.
That's right.
So, So.
No, well, these wines, I just want to say really, because Nancy and I, we do a lot of wine tasting. We aren't the big snobby type, and at the same time, we used to live and have a magazine in South Africa, and the wines there were exceptional, and we've been doing a ton of tasting here, and from all over the place. And your wines and some South African wines are right there at the very, very top. I mean, absolutely just enjoyable, just really pleasurable. And that's so exciting when you can just be pleasured with a bottle of wine. And I like the fact that you've got an emphasis on the winemaker, because I think people forget that, someone is out there and they're crafted, and, this is a craft on its own as well. It's not just, here, throw some grapes in a vat and off we go. This is something that they really work at.
Well, we're experiencing a lot of a big change, and more folks are waking up to the advantages of organics, and even Robert Parker Jr. is one of those names out there that he speaks and people change their drinking habits as far as wine goes. He's quoted as saying it's a healthy movement, and that there's no question that the results are better and produce better fruit and ultimately better wines. So once you've got a voice like that on board.
Right.
And you get more and more people taking a look at organic wines and trying them, and we're very fortunate right now. We feel like we're on the cusp of it really, really expanding.
That's exciting. Now, how did you go from Southern Oregon to Spain and open Natural Merchants?
Well, the story starts with a beautiful Spanish girl, and everything changes from there. Yeah. Now, I met my wife Pilar, my wife and business partner Pilar, and in Madrid here, and when she had finished her master's program, she came out to Southern Oregon, and we worked out there. I had been in the retail grocery business in various roles, from store management to buying to merchandising, marketing, and I spent quite a bit of time in the wine category. And this was in the late 90s when we could just see the organic thing just starting to take off. And we took a look at the opportunities and decided to relocate ourselves here in her native Spain, and then began putting together these joint ventures with these wineries that we saw lots of potential in. Mm-hmm. And then we created the actual import company in the United States that's based out of Oregon, with a partner we have there, Richard Wright, a good friend of ours, mm-hmm. that he controls the logistics and the warehousing and all those other things. And we're over here selecting these wines and obviously working on the sales side. But so we've got kind of a hybrid import company where we bring these wines in from Europe into the United States and get them to the grocer shelves just as inexpensively as possible.
Now, most of them are available at Whole Foods? Or
yes.
Okay.
And not only there's lots nowadays. Pretty much any grocer that's paying attention to organics is starting to open up their wine section too, to having representation. And the fact that these wines are from the number one selling in Italy, or the top wine in Bordeaux, or the oldest estate bottled wine out of Spain, you'll find them in many grocery stores because of the prestige and the marketability that these wines have.
Now, also, we were looking that you don't just do wine. It seems like you have a nice food line there it's really starting to sound good. This show really is bad for me. But these are all healthy. You've got artichoke hearts, all these foods are organic that I was going to talk to you about.
Yeah. We feel really fortunate. Again, the Mediterranean diet, what you had been mentioning, you could go onto Google just about any day of the week and find out a new cure that's being cured by the Mediterranean diet. I mean, it's just so healthy. There's no one that enjoys life or more than the folks in this area, but they end up living longer than we do as Americans. And what is it? It's the diet. Mm-hmm. And so, we have the Mediterranean diet and we have the organic version of the Mediterranean diet. So we really feel happy and feeling like that we're marketing the best that the planet has to offer.
I know that you've got the best of both worlds.
I know. Like, yay. You've got like artichoke hearts and capers and olive oil and olives. Now the olive oil is almost, that's starting to get into the amount of work as a winemaker almost in the production of that.
Oh yeah, there's tastings, and it's taken on a life of its own. There are people that it is a growing concern. It's very much appreciated over here, and it's so nice to see the Americans waking up to the nuances of olive oil.
Yeah, and olive oil, and then capers to me are I love my capers. The capers are a big deal, but also I saw you had roasted red bell peppers. Now that's very Mediterranean, isn't it?
Definitely, you'll find them here in Spain in the paellas, and in various dishes.
This is really cool. Well, I'm glad you're doing this because it's making our life a whole lot better. So everyone can go on your website, naturalmerchants.com, and that's the best place to find where you can purchase all these products, right?
Exactly. And plenty of ways to reach out and contact us through the website, or if anybody has any questions.
Okay, great. And then also the organic, the OTA, it's ota.org?
.com.
.com? Okay, got to get those straight. Okay, great. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Edward. It's been a pleasure, and have fun in beautiful Spain.
Oh, thanks for the invitation.
Okay.
Bye now.
Bye. Bye-bye.